What is up, YouTube? So we had a little wild of a week, just kind of taking out liquidity on pretty much both sides. It's been kind of consolidating, but we had some giant wicks hit each side. So a little bit of craziness, but on the E-mini, we were able to get some shorts, profit some money on there. We did take a losing trade. And on EU, I was doing a like a swing trade. I thought there was on the lower time frame. There's a little setup in here, so I thought we were gonna keep running up into here before we kind of pulled back. But it was just a big wick and got me stopped out. But my main focus is on E-mini right now, since I did start a funding challenge. So I'm just trying to take more longer term trades on EU, while I'll actively day trade on the E-mini. So let's break down the markets and get it set up for next week to figure out what we are looking for. So we did kind of go up, took out liquidity here on the previous week, came down. That's when I thought we were ready to go, and then decided to go up again. Let me move that so you can see. So it ran way up, came back into this little range, went up again, pulled back into the range, and then this one went way down, back to the range, and then we ended back in the range. So we're kind of in this consolidation pattern. So I do expect an expansion day coming up soon. Now, next week with the holiday, who knows? So just keep an eye on it. We are in this little range right here. We do have some gaps down here I would like to see filled, but we did come back and test this. You could say it's a mitigation block, or because it went up and then up again, this could be the breaker block that it tested into. Now, if you guys want to see a bunch of screenshots I've been taking, click the link in the bio and join the email list. And when the Discord server goes live next year, the beginning of next year in January, so we're very close, you're going to get access to all the files I've been taking, hundreds and on multiple time frames of setups, order blocks, mitigation blocks, breaker blocks, fair value gaps, and all that stuff. So check that out, but let's dive into it. So again, I'm going to clear everything because I like to start fresh and analyze the market from fresh points. So our previous month is October till the 31st. We still have the high of October right here. So we'll do the monthly premium. And then we also have the low of October right here. Now, I'm not too worried about this low, so I'm actually going to take it off the chart. I want to start keeping them a little more clear. Last week, I just wanted to show like every range, every point I'm looking at. And now we're just going to use the first or second points it should touch. So like it took this out, but I want to keep that there for reference of why price dug into this level right here. And then the previous high, we got this one up here. So if we're going to run, I want to keep my eye on this. And then again, the September lows down here, I'm not too worried about that. We got to get through the weekly lows first. That's kind of all I wanted to do on the daily. I mean, we still have this gap. We could kind of draw it out to here so that we know that's why price is kind of stuck in here. It was a big gap, so there's probably a lot of orders it needed to fill for efficiency. If I sound a little congested, it's my sister's dogs are here, and believe it or not, I'm allergic to dogs. I can handle a couple because I do have a couple, but 5 of them at once, and her dogs have more hair, and it gets to me. I took a pill, so I'll be good in a couple hours. Anyways, let's get back to it. So that's all I'm going to do on the daily. We still have this, or if you want to be technical, we have this, but because it dug into the monthly, I'm not too too worried about this. Maybe we get another wick, but I do believe price is gonna drive higher. We got our little short-term pullback. We cashed out on some shorts, so I'm looking for some setups to go up into these higher ranges. I mean, it's more of like a fair value gap. All right, down to the 4 hour. Let's pull this out a little bit just so it's easier to look back. And we'll pull this out so we know it came down into that zone. So on here, we still have this giant area of price that it wants to reimbalance. So we'll put the liquidity void there. And the big difference between liquidity void and fair value gap that I use is multiple candles with the big gaps. I'm combining them, so that's a liquidity void. It would be up to here, but we filled it in, so I'll just do it to the monthly high. And then the fair value gap, because on the big time frame it was just one candle. Now this one was a real drop, so I put the liquidity void up there. It wasn't just like a little gap. And then we're gonna do the I'm gonna go to the daily one more time. I gotta do the weekly lines. I forgot about that. So high of last week, and then the low of last week, which is right here. If we go, like I said, because we're in this range, there's no need to go to the previous week for me. If we're in live time during the week next week and it does happen to push, I will add the previous week's low because there is no previous week's high. We took it out. All right. And then we're gonna do the day markers because we are gonna tighten this range up so we know exactly what we're digging into. So we got our buy side and sell side. And then I'm not worried about last week's or the previous day's buy side or sell side because we got it marked up with the weekly and we're already outside of that range. So it may come back and touch it, but it'll be easy to reference. And just clean these up. Why is this not snapping? Yeah, you probably hear that. It's the dogs going crazy. 4 hour, there's this gap up here. It filled in a little bit with this wick. So, not really watching anything per se. I mean, we did come back into this mitigation block, but it kind of stayed there. So, it's not really something I'm looking for like a setup or anything. You could say this order block was tapped, and that might be enough to push it up here, but it was tapped and then came right back. Which is still valid. Like I said, next week with the holiday, I'm not too confident with price exploding, so it might consolidate some more. Just keep an eye on it. And then we'll go down to the 1 hour just to kind of zoom in so you can see if we got in on this, the 1 hour order block, combine these two, it was some good buys. And actually I woke up, around 7, 8 right here. I think I got in around 8:30. So in between here is when I got my short down. So just keep an eye on it. I mean, we did pull back into this 1 hour order block. If you want to be real technical, we tapped the exact body. So we'll put that there. Maybe it comes back down into this range. We don't know. So let me just mark this up. And that's all I'm going to do for this. My bias, it could play out two ways. And I'm going to wait for price to tell me which way it's going to go. So One, it comes back up here and possibly take out the buy side, or because we already tapped this order block or mitigation block, it's gonna come back down. Maybe take out sell side because there's quite a bit of liquidity down here with all these close equal wicks. People are probably like, okay, it went through here, now I'm safe. It went through one more time, now we're really safe right here. Whereas we just took out the liquidity right here, pulled back, or yeah, broke down, kind of pierced this, so we're coming back. Maybe people are already looking for longs, and maybe we take out this liquidity, maybe even down into the monthly or weekly, but we'll see. Next week's going to be tricky. Let's go to the EU. Let's just look at it real quick. So we did break liquidity right here. We had the equal highs marked up, pierced right through. All the bodies stayed in the fair value gap on the daily. But because of these giant wicks, it just messed up my trading. So I didn't get any good trades on EU. And I'm currently not in a funding challenge. So this is kind of on the back burner right now. I'm just doing my personal funds. So small risk, just trying to look for some swing trades. Let's click the monthly just to make it easier on us. So we have the monthly high right here. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not too worried about anything else unless we go up to here. I'm not going to mark it up just because that'll be very easy to identify. I don't need to slap that on the chart. Go down to the weekly. So last week we have a giant range. Or the previous week, I should say, sorry. We did not have that big of a range on this week. Kind of just took out liquidity above here and then came back in. Weekly premium. So looking at this right now, because of the liquidity taken here, and it did reach up, didn't quite hit it, but if you do count the wicks, it did hit this little block right here. Came back down, so maybe EU comes down a little bit before we go back up. Could possibly come down into this range. All right, so the daily ranges now. So we got this one right here. Got the buy side. Got the sell side. And then, so we're kind of an inside candle right here because this is going to be a previous buy side. And then we have the previous sell side. So we got to clear out Friday's range and Thursday's range. Maybe when that does, looks like it's most likely going to go down. Maybe we fill this in, or we come all the way down and fill this in. So we'll keep our eye on both these markets right here, or these ranges right here. I'm actually just going to fill them both in and just make it a liquidity void. All right, let's go down to the 4 hour now. So if we look on this range here, this is the halfway point. So it leads me to believe that price, before we go back up to the upside, it's going to want to dip below this 50%, which lines up with our liquidity void on the daily chart. So there's a chance, I'm going to mark it up. I'm going to delete the fib, but there's a chance we do come down into this fair value gap on the 4 hour, because this would be a discount area. And like I said, we're kind of already boxed in by this range, so I don't really need to mark anything else out. And if it does break out, we'll adjust the range to get our next points in the market. So this is normally how my charts look. Like I said, last week I just wanted to do every weekly, monthly, daily, previous, plus the gaps, all that stuff. But now that you kind of understand my workflow and what I look for in the markets, we're just gonna do the immediate zones that are gonna get hit first, so it keeps the charts even cleaner. So now when we're down on the 15, you could see it really hung on the weekly before we came back down. So with this, I feel like we're gonna break through and maybe come back up, and we might stay in this range. It might just consolidate through next week, but I do believe high probability we're taking out this low first. So I'll keep my eye on that. So that's this week review and breakdown. Like I said, I'm going to do these till the end of the year, and then these are going to continue inside the Discord community. So if you're interested in that, click the link below and put your email in, get on the list, and we'll keep you up to date there, as well as through the YouTube videos. But you'll be the first ones to be able to join and get a discount versus the public pricing. And on top of this that we're going to do every week, we're also going to do community reviews too. So you guys will be able to send your charts of your past trades the week, and we could dissect them, see how, like, if you're taking losing trades, I could help you kind of visualize and see on your charts why it was a possible losing trade, or maybe you did everything right and you just can't win them all. So we're going to do those weekly in the Discord, as well as while we're doing this live, we're going to live stream these videos, and we'll put them back up for the people to look for in the past weeks. But we're also going to be able to, if you guys send me a pair or a index or something to look at, we'll break it down live with you guys on the live call too. So excited to start that community with you all. I've been putting a lot of work in there, a lot of back testing screenshots of trade setups, of higher time frame order blocks, rejection blocks, like I was saying in the beginning of the video. So all those screenshots are going to be in there, and I don't stop back testing, so I'm going to keep compiling those screenshots in there for as long as the community is running, and it'll have a resource to quickly go through those pictures and be able to see what you should be looking for in the market, and it'll help train your eye to just notice them and be ready to take action when they appear in the market. So I hope you guys had a good week of trading last week, and like I said, holidays next week. Be careful out there. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. If not, have a good week. Be smart. Maybe study more next week than actually focusing on trades. So let's end this year strong. I'll see you guys all next week. We got a couple videos this Friday and next Friday. They'll be uploaded, so look forward to those, and have a good week. Peace.